Today I'll be showing you how to do the Trae Young cancel with and without holding L2, and I'll be showing you how to do the new snatchback spam in NBA 2K24. To start off, I'll be showing you how to spam the snatchback, but if you're here for the Trae Young cancel with or without L2, watch this part, because once you know how to do the snatchback spam, it will make doing the other moves easier, and I'm going to explain something very important that you need to know that will make doing the other moves easier to do. For this snatchback animation, most players are using John Wall or Curry step back, but if you want a snatchback like the one from last year, put on Vince Carter. So to start off, in order to do the snatchback spam, you want to hold R2 and then you want to flick your right stick down, and that'll give you the first snatchback. Now when you hold R2 and you keep flicking your right stick down, you usually get this combo where you do a snatchback into a behind the back over and over again. So now what you want to do is, when you do the snatchback, you want to take your left stick and move towards the ball hand. So right here, you're gonna see me move my left stick to the right, and you're gonna get that animation, which is normal. So after the first snatch, when you move your left stick, you're basically canceling out that snatchback behind the back combo I was talking about. Once you cancel out the combo, you're able to do another snatchback. So basically what you have to do is move your left stick towards the ball hand, but before your player actually does the running animation, you flick your right stick down. So now you're able to do another snatchback, because the game is registering it as a standstill dribble, because you moved your left stick to cancel out the combo, but you didn't do any other animation. So when you're doing these cancellation moves, there's 3 important points you need to think about while you're dribbling in order to understand it. The first point is when you move your left stick. The second point is when the game registers that you moved your left stick and knows you want to like run out of a move. And the third point is when your player actually does the animation and starts running. That little window between when the game registers that you moved your left stick and when the animation actually happens is when you're doing the second snatch, and that's what allows you to do the move, because you're canceling out a combo, and before a new animation can happen, there's a window for you to do a new standstill move. So now I'll be showing you how to do the Trae Young cancel without holding L2. Remember the concept that I just told you guys before to understand what you're doing. You want to hold R2 and then flick your right stick diagonally up towards the non-ball hand, the regular way. As you can see right here, I'm holding R2 and then I flick my right stick up, and now my player does the animation. Right when you do the first Trae Young, you want to move your left stick to like do a speed boost. As you can see right here, I'm gonna bring it back. I do the first Trae Young right here, and then right after I do it, I move my left stick to do a speed boost. But before the animation can actually pop up, I'm doing my second Trae Young. And that's how I get this cancel right here. So like how I was explaining before with the snatchback spam, you just want to do a regular Trae Young, and as you're speed boosting, before the animation of you speed boosting actually pops up, that's when you want to be doing R2 diagonal up to the off ball hand so that the animation could happen. Because when you move your left stick to speed boost, you're canceling out any other move. It's almost like you're about to run. So there's a gap in between when you move your left stick and when the animation actually happens, and within that window you can do any standstill dribble move. That's where the cancellation part comes in from your left stick. So I'm gonna break down this triple Trae Young right here. As you can see right here, I'm about to do it. I'm holding R2, I flick my right stick to the right. As you can see right here, I just flicked my right stick diagonal up to the right. Once I do that, I take my left stick, I move it towards that direction, and right after I move it towards that direction, I'm doing my Trae Young the other way before the running animation starts. Once I do that, I'm taking my left stick and then I'm going towards where I just did the second Trae Young at. I did the Trae Young to the left, so now I move my left stick to the left. And before the animation of me speed boosting to the left happens, I'm still holding R2 and I flick my right stick to the right to get the third Trae Young right here. So the most important part is when you move your left stick to speed boost or to run, there's a delay between when you move your stick when the game registers that you moved your left stick and when the actual animation happens. If you're able to do the Trae Young cross in between the second and the third point that I just said, then you'll be able to do the cancellation without holding L2. Another important part about the Trae Young cross is that if you do it a wrong way, there's a forward crossover that will tend to happen. I don't know if some of you guards seen what I'm talking about. The reason why it happens is because in this game, not only do you have to move your right stick diagonally up, you have to do it to the lower side of diagonal up, if that makes sense. So if you see right here, I'm not doing it towards the 10:30 to 12 o'clock range. You have to do it from like 9 o'clock to 10:30, and on the right side you have to do it from 1:30 to 3 o'clock. So when you're doing it diagonally up, you have to do it towards the lower side of diagonal up, if that makes sense. I'll put a clock on the screen and literally show you what I mean. So my advice, the best way to practice this move is, first, the easiest way is just start off practicing the snatchback spam, just so that it gets you in that same mindset or like way of doing dribble moves or cancellations. After you practice the snatchback spam, you could try and do the Trae Young cancel with no L2, and what you should probably try and do is like try and let this first animation play out as long as possible, not too long. Like if you get to this point and you don't still move your left stick, you're probably gonna get a bad speed boost. So probably around like this point, you could probably still speed boost and then try and do the second Trae Young. So like you could even see right here, when I do the Trae Young cancel without L2, like right here, like right when he's about to raise his body up and hop, the cancel happens and I'm able to do it. Make sure when you're doing the Trae Young cross, you're holding R2 and you're flicking your right stick diagonally up to the non-ball hand. And say for example, if you're doing it to the left, try and aim for 9 to 10:30, and if you're doing it to the right, try and do it from 1:30 to 3 o'clock, or else you might get a forward crossover that you're not trying to get. Now if the Trae Young cancel was too hard to do without L2, I'll be showing you how to do it with L2. Again, it is the same exact concept as I explained before, with the delay between when you do a cancellation and when the game actually like registers what you're doing. So you start off doing it normally. You want to hold R2 and then you'll flick your right stick right here. I flick it toward diagonally up towards the non-ball hand. Once you do that, you want to move your left stick towards the non-ball hand, which is about to be your ball hand since you did the cross. I move my left stick diagonally up to the left, and as I'm about to speed boost, I hold L2 right here. I start holding L2. Once I do that, I'm still holding R2, and I flick my right stick diagonally up the other way to get my second Trae Young. After I do the second Trae Young, that's when I let go of L2 after I do the second Trae Young. So I'm letting go of L2 right before the actual animation happens so that I don't get a post-up animation. Now after I do that, I move my left stick diagonally up to the right because that's where I'm speed boosting now. And then as I'm speed boosting, I hold L2. And now that I'm holding L2, I can do the third Trae Young cross right here. You're gonna see my thumb move the stick diagonally up to the left, and I do the third Trae Young cross. Around like right when the animation's about to happen, I release my finger off of L2, as you can see right here. So if you watch this video and you're still having trouble trying to do the left stick cancel or the L2 cancel, go back to doing the snatchback spam just to get into a groove and to understand how you're supposed to do it. Because really the snatchback spam is just a slower version of these other cancels. So gradually go from that to the L2 cancel, then to the left stick cancel, which is really the hardest one because you're basically trying to cancel out of the good speed boost, which means that window between when the animation happens and when the game registers you want to run, that is the smallest window between all three of these moves. But let me know in the comment section below if these moves helped you guys out. If not, hit like on the video. Nah, but I'ma holla at y'all.